Imagine an artist who could seamlessly blend the ancient art of Korean ink painting with modern abstract expressionism. That's Lee Ungno, a visionary who broke boundaries and created a unique artistic language that continues to inspire artists around the world, an artist who conveyed his ideas for peace and unity through his works. Born in 1904 and passing in 1989, Lee Ungno has lived through very different Koreas, which has had a large impact on his art. In 1922, he started his artistic studies under Kim Gyun-jin, a prominent artist in Korea. This is where he created his paintings, Blue Bamboo, which got Lee selected for the Joseon Art Exhibition. He then sailed to Japan in 1935, joining the Denko Painting Workshop and learned from Matsubayashi Kiegetsu, learning different techniques such as Nihonga and Western styles. In 1945, he returns to Seoul and co-founded the art collective Danku, working with younger artists of the time. Lee became a teacher and opened an art studio where he taught different painting techniques, lectured regularly at Hong-Ik University and the Seoul University of Art. Even published a book, Oriental Painting Techniques and Its Appreciation. He was one for self-expression through art and not conforming to social standards. In the 50s, he began to become more abstract in his art and later moved to Paris to explore new techniques. Not long after Paris, he traveled to Germany, and in 1967 he was called back to Korea and imprisoned for about 2.5 years for suspected involvement in the East Berlin affair. However, this did not halt his artistic outlet, and he still created works in jail, and it is said that he created over 300 works during his time in prison. Lee was a persistent and resilient artist looking for new ways to express himself and his craft, fusing together traditional Korean techniques with modern Western to create his own. Ungno had a blended style of painting, using traditional Korean styles with influences of those of the modern West. Having studied different techniques in Korea, Japan, and France, among others, he was one who did not shy away from new techniques but instead blended them into his own. Lee was a well-rounded artist who didn't shy away from the new skill and influences. In many of his works you can see the influence of traditional literary paintings and calligraphy. He also painted realistic landscapes, paper collages, and abstraction. As he was trained in calligraphy and literary paintings early on in his career, using traditional Korean materials, this can be seen as a common theme in his works. He traveled a lot throughout his career, gaining new inspiration and skills throughout. This is where you can see a blend of his traditional style and his newfound Western style, combining the two different into his art, and can be seen as Lee trying to find harmony with the East and the West, as he had gone through political turmoil throughout his years that affected his outlook and works. People, it is almost as if it could have been based on a picture of a crowd taken with a drone flying in the sky. Here we see little figures that appear to be standing, marching, dancing in lines, and scattered across the canvas. Arms are stretched out in different directions, figures bent in some real or unnatural positions, and some even appearing to be meshed one on top of another. The human form became the main subject for Lee throughout his career. Seen in the forms created here, he uses his background in calligraphic brushwork. His People series was produced during the later years of his life, the years 1980 until he died in 1989. As a long-lasting legacy as an artist, he was not only an artist for himself, but for his students alike. Being a forever student himself, traveling to learn new techniques and styles to incorporate into his own works, and seeing life through a different lens through all of his travels. An artist who truly wanted to blend both the East and the West, his devotion to teaching has become a legacy in itself, being remembered as an artist and educator who founded the first educational program for Eastern painting. To this day, the program is still producing graduates. He has been memorialized in a multitude of museums and galleries, having tribute exhibitions in a number of cities after his passing, Paris, Tokyo, and Osaka, and his collections are held in a in multiple museums, including the Museum of Modern Art, the Pompidou, and the National Museum of Decorative Art, to name a few. Distinguished artist that shows that persistence and resilience can create greatness. Someone who did not only try to learn new techniques for their own benefit, but to share them with those willing to learn. Being an artist, a devout teacher, and author, Lee was an artist who wore many hats. Being able to blend different styles seamlessly, traditional Korean techniques with modern, Western, abstract expressionism, his art created a bridge between cultures, pushing envelopes within the art world, making him an essential figure within the art community. His legacy continues on through his works and teachings, still being an inspiration for many today. Thank you.